Leo.
Hello everyone, I would just like to take a slight moment off the top here before we start our July forecast. I just want to thank you all for the inspiration you give me that again can hopefully be inspiring you. I would love to thank each and every country, but that would be a long list. We are now being viewed in 177 countries. So you know who you are when I thank you for that blessing and for you sharing these videos. And also I want to thank those of you that I've been able to touch in a personal level in our personal private readings. I want to say hello to all of you, and you know who you are. So let's take a look at what July is going to bring you. Hello Leo, this is your July forecast for 2013. And this month I am really happy for you. And why? Well, it looks like you're going to take a little bit of a break. Now, ever since January, things have been so pinpointed, focused, and specific. You know, each month has had its flavors, its section to kind of work itself through. And for you here this month is all about your planets now hiding over there in the 12th house, which is the subconscious mind. It is what is not up and out into the daily life. We have the Sun, Jupiter, New Moon, and Mercury in there, and Mercury is retrograde here for the most part of the month until the 21st. So Mars also is shortly going to be joining it on July 13th. Currently here at the end of June, coming into June 13th, it's going to be in your 11th house. So I still see you being busy until that date, out and about and chatting with people, making new alliances. The 11th house is all about networking, and I feel that, you know, most of this year it's been about networking. You know, and then especially I'd probably say here April and May coming into June. So even Mars is going to be able to put his feet up and rest a little bit. Now another big major change that we have this month is Jupiter is changing signs. It's just coming out of this networking, this very social, busy sector of your life, moving into the 12th house on June 25th. And it's going to remain there for a full year. And what does that mean? Well, Jupiter is the abundant giver. It's the happy-go-lucky energy that we all carry with us. And especially now when it's been out in that 11th house, you've probably been out there beaming, radiating. You know, you are a Leo. You know, so you do that so naturally as is. But you've been like a mega Leo here this last year. Only because why? You could. And because Jupiter was with you in the 11th house, which is the opposite sign of where it rules, but it really, you know, amplifies still anyway. So you might come to this shift and you're going to go, whoa, what happened? Who turned off the faucet? Suddenly you might feel like you're hitting the wall and you didn't realize that you were tired or exhausted from all of this because you've had so much fun. But just as it kind of pulls in and you pull in to your subconsciousness, suddenly you will feel, you know, how all that energy is just going to kind of like run off you, and you will just feel the need to have a little bit more quiet time, and you are definitely going to be making more quiet time between now and summer of next year. Jupiter is going to be in this place for a full year, and what it will do when it's in the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces, governed by Neptune. These two are rulers. Jupiter used to be an ancient ruler of the 12th house, so, you know, she's happy there. And in the sign there of Neptune, the two of them, I see them dreaming together, and they do that pretty well, those two. Neptune dreams, you know, endless dreams with no limitations, and then Jupiter comes in and expands that, makes it super huge, you know, but you're going to be doing this quietly, silently, You may not be sharing it too much with the outer world, at least not anytime soon. We will see that and the result of what you've been dreaming here sometime next summer when Jupiter then crosses your ascendants. You'll come out so rejuvenated, trust me. But the other planets, they're just there for a little while. You know, the sun is just passing through here this month of July. It will be out in your house by the very end here of July when it enters into your own sign of Leo. But Mercury is going to be lingering there and retrograde from June 26th until July 21st. So as we know, it's not a good time to sign any documents or papers. That can go haywire. You know, it can be delays and misunderstandings, miscommunications, or we weren't reading the small fine print and suddenly we're stuck with something we don't want. So yeah, don't buy any big items and don't sign your name on that fine dotted line to after the 21st. I would say give it a whole week after that. Better yet, wait till August, if you can. But what is fun here for you in July, besides the need to kind of pull back a little bit from these, not wild circumstances, but you've been out there, you've been having fun. But there's still a lot of fun going on because you have Venus in your own sign here this month. It is in the sign of Leo, it's playful, and it just wants to have a little few extra luxury items, so this might be a beautiful month for you to go shopping, renew yourself, new hairstyle, or go get a mani-pedi or something that you feel that you're pampering yourself with. And then we have Mars still active. And what is that doing there in your 11th house? It's still trying to figure out something with men around you, male contacts. And it seems like having, should I say, traveled through Gemini here for a while, kind of tells me you've been receiving double signals from men around you. That could be supervisors, boss, it could be your significant other, and at times receiving double signals like that, it can drive you up the wall. And yes, and I've been hearing a whole lot about that from clients that I've been speaking to here this latest month. A lot of you there on YouTube as well. Is like, so what do they really want? It's like one day they're in this direction, next day they're in that direction, then they're back. You know, can't make up their mind. But even that shall start calming down, and some kind of resolution or result should be surfacing once you head in when Mars ingresses into Cancer on July 13th. That should give you a little bit more peace. And it looks like whoever this person is in your life will also find more peace and pull within. Then we have some aspects here right on top of the month here, Leo, that you might want to be a little bit aware of, because there seems to be this kind of, I won't say crisis, but there might be a little situation. And we have to have those too. We can't just always have the fun stuff. But Venus is squared by Saturn. And so this fun-loving Venus and your big, beautiful heart is being squared by something that you feel could be a little difficult. It's from Saturn, and you're going to have to make some choices here on this day. And Saturn is currently in your 4th house for home, property, and so forth, residence. And so there might be some choices as far as what needs to be done there. And then also I see on the same day your Sun is being opposed by Pluto. And that can create some kind of reactions or some push-pull situation on the first. But it looks like you might split away from either the situation itself or some kind of idea connected to it on the 3rd when the Sun squares Uranus, which separates from whatever that conflict was. On the 7th and 8th, though, really nice, because why? This same Venus that's gone a little bit through the ringer there is now in a beautiful trine to Uranus. So new solutions. So you might have one thing that you were planning, kind of splitting away from it, and then coming in with a new plan. So whatever it is you receive on that day on the 7th and 8th, looks like that might be a very good, surprising solution as to what it is you're looking for. And I'm really happy to see too, because on this day, it's an important day. It's your new moon day, and this is going to be in your house here of Cancer in the 12th house. But it's also the day Saturn starts going direct again. Yay! We always want to kind of celebrate that, because Saturn is so good to have on our side when he's moving forward. Not that he's all that bad when he's in retrograde. It's just that he doesn't do anything. He's like the lazy one on the couch there, right? So now he's going to come up back onto the stage, and he will help you solidify some of these things that are going in your life. And especially with these ideas and plans that I see that you have, they're going to want to have that root. And especially when we're looking a little bit deeper into the month, when we have this beautiful golden water triangle coming up, really breathing life into some dreams here. I am happy that Saturn, that he's awake. Why? Because he's going to come in and anchor it. This is on the 17th and 19th. Mark those days, 17th, 19th, and I'll add in 20th, and I'll tell you why. On the 17th, Jupiter and Saturn, now Saturn moving forward, they're in a beautiful trine, in a golden alignment. And Jupiter expands, and always wants to make things bigger. Saturn constricts and hold back, and can sometimes, be the party pooper. However, in this scenario, though, Saturn's coming in to support and saying, you want to go big? Fine, I'm right here. Now, on the 19th, Saturn is going to make a trine to Neptune. And so Neptune dreams, the ideal dreams, whatever it is you envision, and put that Neptune and Jupiter together, because they're trine also on the very same day. This is a golden water trine. So Neptune wants to dream, Jupiter expands it bigger than life, and then here comes Saturn, up all the players to the table saying, okay guys, this is what you want? Go for it. I'm right here. Saturn is our anchor. Saturn is the one that brings vision into manifestation into this 3D world. If not, it would just be pie in the sky dreams. So this month for you, Leo, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, 17th to 19th. And guess who's joining the party on the 20th? To the very same constellation, which is Mars. That's energy. Revving up the engines, setting this in motion. So from vision to Saturn concluding it, and Mars catapulting it out there, something is going to take place here in July that can actually start off an avalanche, something that can start really quickly from idea to action. So this is good. I'm really excited all about that. And then Venus, just thereafter on the 22nd, is moving out of Leo, out of your sign, into Virgo, which is an earth sign. And I feel, since Venus rules love and romance, of course, but since it also rules money and finances, and then moving into Virgo, which is your financial house, and then with these ideas that just passed in the days before, here she comes 3 or 4 days later in, opening the door to the vault, into your finances, securing something. And Venus is at home in the second house. She rules the second house. So, and then also you have the sun moving out of your 12th house on the very same day, 22nd. So it will be out of Cancer and into Leo. So happy birthday, Leo, on the 22nd. Listen, big day for you, because it's also the day of the full moon. Now this full moon will be in your 7th house for partnerships. And sure enough, that can be love and romance, things coming there into fruition, into harvest. It could also be, since you have all these financial things going on there, it could also be that you can, excuse me, allergies. It can also be that you partner up with, because the 7th house is also partnerships. You might find somebody to partner up with that can actually bring these finances into being, which can power whatever dream it is you have. I'll be so excited to hear about what this is, how it's going to take on shape and form, because if we look at this triangle, it's between your 12th house, your 8th house, and your 4th house. So this has to do 4th house, home, foundation, property, real estate. 8th house, it's partnering with somebody, other people's money, bringing in or sharing some shared resources there with property. And then the 12th house is dream. And I won't say necessarily leisure, but the 12th house is also like recreation, pulling back in, finding calmer areas. So you might find and all being in water signs, you might find a piece of property by a lake or a river or it's some kind of serene surroundings, which in itself can be extremely tranquil and healing, and having perfect ki or chi in that area if you are one of those here acting out that Saturn in the 4th house that has to do with home, property, or real estate. And then Mars taking action on it, because this Mars will be acting out from the 12th house to make this happen, and it will be there with Jupiter. So Mars Jupiter conjunct, that's a big ignition right there. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear from you later on in the month. And I have to say, sometimes when we hear things early on in the forecast, some of it resonates, some of it makes sense, a lot of it doesn't make sense. Why? Because it hasn't happened yet, and we have no, relation to it. But this is why it could always be good to come back on later in the month, re-listen to the forecast, and see how things have fell into place in the meanwhile, and it will make more sense to you, and especially at the end of the July forecast, looking back over the last month can really help you see how things tie together and make more sense for you. Then we have on the 26th, the Venus sextile Saturn. So if you start anything up there when Venus enters into your 2nd house, good news should be coming from you securing something already on the 22nd. That only gives you like 4 days there from it enters to you have something good news. So if you're going to be applying for anything around there on the 22nd, it's not going to be a long wait. Then I see you kicking into action on the 27th, because this Mars is now going to be teaming up with Pluto, and those two together is a real powerhouse. Mars wants action, Pluto wants transformation. Put the two together, it's like two super engines going off, but they're kind of like one is here and one is there because it's in an opposition. So try to not, split yourself off in two directions, but take those two powers and kind of like find the midpoint in between them, and then shoot your energy towards whatever goal it is. You're going to be busy there on that day, whatever it is. Just be careful. It's one of those days, we always say be careful, because the energy might be going at such a high rate that we don't pay attention to details. So careful, with sharp knives, doing dinner, cutting up your veggies, or when you're out driving, those things, just be careful with power tools. Then we have a beautiful ending of this month, and this is on the 28th when Venus and Jupiter, they do the same thing that Venus did to Saturn. She comes in and she is going to validate something there that Jupiter has set in. So I'm seeing like ever from the 13th onwards, okay? So the last 2 weeks of July is going to be extremely busy, pinpointed action, follow through. Because you know how some months you have your thoughts and ideas and your plans, but then it's the follow-up and the follow-through that becomes a little difficult due to other circumstances that are being held back, or other people are too busy, offices are too busy to follow through. But here it's like streamlined. It's like whatever it is you're doing, everybody else around you is streamlined into this matrix, so there apparently seems to be a really nice flow for you, Leo. And then we have the full moon on July 22nd, so that should be a time of harvest, This falls in your 7th house of love and relationships, committed partnerships, and so forth. So you should see something kind of tying in there, coming together for you. So as always, listen to your moon sign and rising sign as well. And I will answer this to you as I have answered to the others, because I get these questions all the time. And that is, why do astrologers say that we need to listen to our moon sign or rising sign? You know, which one is valid? They're all valid. The sun sign only means that the sun went through Leo at your time of birth. That gives you the sun sign of Leo. But all your other planets were scattered around. Now the moon for you is exactly where it was at the time of birth. So when you know your moon sign, think about the sun as the conscious mind that acts. You know, the sun acts out, it externalizes. But the moon reacts. The moon reflects the sun. So it's our inner self, not our outer persona, but our inner persona, how we feel, how we're sensitive to things, and how we react to that. So when you listen to your moon sign, that's that month's forecast for how you're going to feel emotionally. Okay, what's coming up for you? Maybe you're both romantically and emotionally that month. Your sun sign is all the external activities. That's the reading I just gave you here now. And then the rising sign is the sign that rose up over the horizon at the time of birth. And then why do we listen to it? And is it valid? Yes, it is. Because the rising sign and the forecast of the rising sign shows where the planets are going to be, which is coming up towards your horizon. What is coming up that you can actually start taking action on and showing out to the outer world this month. So yes, all those 3 points, very, very important. And in fact, if you wanted to, you could read all or listen to all of them, your Venus sign, your Mars sign, your Jupiter sign, but we don't do that. We stick to the sun, moon, and rising. So that was a little lesson for this month. And Leo, it's always such a pleasure to speak with you each and every month. Love talking to you on the phone and on the readings, which there has been several Leos coming in here this month. So anyway, I will see you next month, and have a good one. Enjoy.